Alright guys, so it's been a little while since we've done one of these videos, little what's going on with Canon. And for those of you that kind of watch this channel, you know I'm a pretty big Canon supporter. So let's kind of talk a little bit about what's happened and hopefully what is possibly going to be coming out. So we have Canon Rumors open right here. And many of you know that Canon released their C70 or announced their C70. And that actually is a camera that I didn't think I'd have much interest in, but I kind of do, especially seeing some of the limitations that Canon is experiencing or going through in regards to video with their mirrorless cameras, especially the R5. Not as much that I'm seeing with the R6. I shoot with the R6 normally. It's not being used right now because the R6 is set up in the other room and this is my RP, but even the RP does a good job. But I would like to see some of those features that cameras like the C70 put out. And that is of interest, a little above my price point. So one of the cameras that's really quite interesting and I'm really looking forward to is the C50. Now that was supposed to be announced alongside the C70, but we didn't see or hear of it at all. So that's something that we're still kind of hopefully looking at. And we can see here on Canon Rumors, they talk about a bit of a refresher of what's next from Canon. The big one there, first on the list, right? Canon Cinema EOS C50. This was supposed to be announced alongside the C70, but was delayed. So they're saying that they don't expect us to see this camera until possibly first quarter of 2021, which isn't a bad thing because if they can get it out first quarter of 2021, that gives me a bit of extra time to save up some money because one of my cameras is due. At least one of my cameras is due for a refresh, and that might not be a bad one if they can get that price down. If they can get it into, under $5, for sure, that would kind of nice, right? A few of the other cameras they talk about here, the Canon EF505, again, was supposed to be announced in 2020. Don't really know. Same with the EC20. And the big one here that a lot of people are waiting for or are excited for is the replacement for this one, right? So that's the actual M50. So I've used the M50 for about 1.5 years now. It used to be my primary camera. Then when I bought the RP, it became kind of the secondary camera. And now that I have the R6 is primary. The RP is kind of secondary. And this I use mostly for almost like vlogging style, or it's just nice because it's barely ever attached to a tripod. So I can just take it and grab some photos. It still takes great photos. A lot of times I put a speed booster on it. It does very well. But Canon EOS M50 Mark II, this is one that a lot of people, myself included, have been waiting for. So it'll be interesting to see what they do in regards to that. Now, this article was posted on September 25th, and we can see here it says that it was scheduled for a Q4 2020 announcement, but there's a lot of mixed information. So that just kind of says, we don't know. And I get it. I get that. But today, if we scroll up here, as of September 30th, that's when we're shooting this. Right? That's maybe when you're watching it. I don't know. The Canon EOS M50 Mark II has been confirmed through Canon product listings for dealers. This camera body has been rumored for quite some time to come in Q4 of 2020. So we should see an announcement soon. So as of now, the M50 Mark II is what we're thinking it's going to be called, has not been pushed to 2021. It says here that also appearing alongside it is a new speed light. Cool for those that will be using this for photography and use flash photography. That's awesome for you guys. The EL1, which is a new flagship speedlight. Hopefully, we'll hear more about this soon. Again, this is nothing confirmed. This is all still rumors, but it has been some time now that we haven't heard anything from Canon. After the C70, and even up to the C70, there was just this big lull of like kind of nothing. Some lenses, some flashes, a lot of third-party stuff. but no information. So I'm thinking that Canon will want to get something, especially like the M series, so an M50 replacement, kind of come out pre-Christmas, because a lot of people look at buying things like cameras and that, especially if you can get it in a good value priced target, because then you get that audience that is like, oh, that's a decent price to be able to get as a gift for person A or person B or whoever, or themselves. Maybe you just want a new camera, and that's cool. So a lot of hopes for the M50 Mark II. Again, I'd love to see, it's going to have a 1.6 times crop, which is standard for an APS-C sensor, but I would like to see it have no additional crop in 4K. Honestly, if you give me 24 and 30, perfectly fine. I'd like to see dual pixel autofocus on that camera in 4K. I'd like to see eye detection in 4K video. It has eye detection on the M50, but only in photo mode right now. So I'd like to see eye detection in the actual video modes. And last but not least, it would be cool if they introduced some form of IBIS. I don't know if that'll come into the M50 series, but if it is something that they can implement, that would be fantastic. So there's my three. These are the three features I'd like to see on the M50 Mark II. IBIS, 4K, no crop, well, no additional crop, and dual pixel autofocus with eye detection. That's it. That's not hard. Throw that in there. Give it to me. Like under $1,000. Body only. I don't need the lens again. All right, guys. What cameras are you looking forward to? Doesn't even have to be from Canon. What would possibly be your next camera? What may be your next camera? What one are you saving your pennies for? All right, guys. I'm going to leave you there. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys. We'll do another one once there's some more rumors kind of coming out. All right. Later.